guys, welcome back to Pop Review. I'm Alex.
I'm Sean.
And today we're going to be talking about Disney's Aladdin. So, there was a lot of build up to this, at least on the channel. I think we did a review for every trailer that came out.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we definitely discussed it in length on other trailer reviews like Lion King. And we just kind of been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
So, for us to be sitting here, we saw the movie and talking about it is like, you know, it's fun. I'm glad we're here now.
Yeah. So this is a spoiler review.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen the new Aladdin movie, go watch it. Mm-hmm. Then you can come back and listen to our thoughts about it.
Yes. And I know for a fact, we talked about this before we started recording, we do not have the same thoughts on a lot of things.
I don't think so. Not this time around. So
So yeah. So you're
ding ding. Let the fight
begin.
Round
one.
So let's start off this way. What are your initial thoughts coming out of Aladdin?
So actually, my expectations were low. So that's an important thing to mention. My expectations were very low.
Okay.
I came out of it pretty much feeling about it the way I thought I was going to feel about it.
Like, meh?
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh, all right, so that happened, and then I can move on with my life, type of thing. Mm-hmm. It's really kind of how I felt. You?
I mean, I feel similar to you, but I think maybe more so than you did. Like, I too had I wouldn't say low expectations. I didn't have high expectations. I just wanted to walk in. It's like, all right, what am I gonna get? Let's see what I get. And I left thinking like, okay, I see what they were trying to do, because a lot of our fears were that they were gonna really just like literally just stick directly to the original, and they didn't kind of do it. There was a little bit of leeway, not as much as I would want, but enough where I was like, okay.
I gotta say, the worst parts of the film for me were the ones where they were trying to be like the animated film. Like, those were the parts that worked the least well for me. So any song that occurred on screen, with the exception, of course, the new one, which we'll talk about, was just completely lackluster and slower in tempo. And
well, I mean, but it'd have to be slower in tempo, because you can't move as quick as the animation can. So I mean, that didn't bother me,
it was driving me nuts. I was like, "Come on, like pick up the pace, let's go!"
No, but but that didn't bother me. I actually, it felt more natural that way.
But like, here's the thing: it shouldn't feel natural at all, because they're literally just bursting into song in the middle.
Well,
of, like,
I mean, if it's a Bollywood movie, then it does feel natural, which is kind of like the kind of feel of it.
Well, fine, but Bollywood is way more energetic and fun to watch than what Aladdin was. So don't try to tell me that they had to keep it slow because it's live action.
I'm just saying, but
I don't think that's true. I think that they could have really amped up the energy. Just felt low. I'll just say that. And at least in terms of the songs, energy was like.
Well, I mean that's fair. I mean, if it bothered you, it didn't bother me.
Yeah. So one thing that I actually did come away with feeling good about was the look of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was like really beautifully. There was like a lot of color. The colors were really popping, and I don't know. It looked like a spectacle. I mean, so that part.
I mean, it's not going to look obviously as. I mean, you can't really compare it to to animated movie, and that's one thing I really tried to do. Was I tried going in. I was like, all right, I'm putting the animated movie to the side, and I'm trying to judge it on its own.
I watched it the night before the original.
You see, you shouldn't have done that.
No, actually, I'm kind of yes and no. I'm glad I did, but also it would have been interesting to watch with that not fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it was interesting because I could pinpoint exactly what was different. Obviously, not that I don't know the movie by heart anyway.
Yeah, it was like,
but it kind of was a weird way to go into it, so maybe that contributed to the disappointment.
Yeah, see, maybe that's why I was like, I haven't watched it in a while, but like I've seen it enough where I was like, yep, remember that scene, remember that scene, remember that scene. Oh, that's new. What
I liked about it, because they had to, because with live action, you have to be a little bit more specific with the place and costume and like the world that you're building. But it did feel still like a fantasy place, like a not real place. There were obviously some inspirations coming from like Indian culture, just Middle East in general. So you couldn't quite pick out exactly where they were.
Exactly.
Which I appreciated in terms of the set design and then the costuming. I thought the costuming was really good.
Yeah, I also like the fact that they put Agrabah like as a city on the bay.
Yeah, that's
which
new.
was new. It was interesting to see.
Yeah.
Also like the fact that they kind of mirrored the first one where the genie is telling the story. Even though in the anime he's telling it to us,
right.
In this one he's telling it to his kids,
yeah.
which was nice callback once we already figure out who he's actually talking to.
Yeah, it was okay. We'll get there. We'll get to the ending when we get there, I guess. But yeah, I did appreciate opening as a narration the same way.
Yeah, same way. Yeah, and
so that worked okay.
Seeing Aladdin. So there was conversation about
so much to talk about
his costume.
Oh, really?
Should he be shirtless? Should he not be?
I'm sure I was the one who brought that up.
I mean, the actor really worked out. So if you see a lot of his Instagram stuff, he's ripped.
Why would they not have given that to me?
I mean, to me, he didn't look street ratty enough, and maybe because he's ripped, that would take you out of it. But just his clothes, his costume, just like. He's supposed to be dirt poor and hungry. He didn't look...
And certainly the place where he lived. I would absolutely live there
dude, that's not where a street rat lives. That's like where...
it's
like some clever guy with...
Lots of privacy. He's got lots of room, lots of stuff. Which, I mean, I was like, dude, what? You're
in the
fine.
anime, he looked like he lived in a hole.
Yeah. I mean, it was a similar, it was similar, but it was smaller, and it definitely was more humble. And then this was like, wow, look at all this
wide
cool.
open,
and he's got stairs coming out when he pulls the rope.
It was a lot more sophisticated. It was like, okay,
that's true. I didn't really feel that actually that's a good point. We should talk about that in terms of his character because I didn't feel like he really needed to. Improve his circumstances. I didn't get the sense of the street rat going from the rags to riches, and so therefore a lot of the stuff that happened with his character towards the end of the film fell flat in terms of his arc because the starting point, because the starting point with, so I feel like that did kind of mess up his character a little bit in terms of. Why he's making the choices that he's making.
Well, let's talk about the opening song, So One Jump. So they kind of changed it a little bit in this sense, where during the song, right before the song, he meets Jasmine.
Yeah.
And they're kind of he's singing the song with her, kind of, as he's helping her get away. Versus in the animated movie, he's kind of singing as we're getting to know Aladdin and kind of figure out what's his dynamic going on. So they kind of change it a little bit. In the sense where it still happens where she still gets in trouble, but they kind of intertwine that now with One Jump now.
Two things about that. Number one, I just feel like that was terrible. It was so slow. And
him singing it?
Yes. It was so slow. One jump ahead of the red line. And I'm like, what are you doing? Also, he enunciated, I don't know if you noticed this, every word was just so well enunciated. One jump ahead of the red line. And it's just this is bizarre. I really had that experience watching it. I was like, it's like someone was directing him while he was singing. Yeah. Someone directed this and no one raised their hand and was like, yeah, can we do it again? Well, or maybe a little faster, a little more energy.
Maybe. I mean, but I don't know. But also watching this, you just feel like it was parts of it were in slow motion.
They actually were.
Okay, so but
that
took me out of it. I was like, I didn't like that.
That did not work for me.
And I'm glad that they didn't do it again really going forward. But I didn't like it. I was like, what?
I totally agree, and the whole point of that scene is the chaos of escaping from the guards. And I didn't get that sense, number one, because of the slow motion.
Yeah, I didn't like
the way it was shot. And then he's singing slower, and it just kind of felt like they really could have amped up the energy quite a bit. And this is another example of where they were trying to be like the original song, but not enough like the original song, so it just kind of ended up being no good for anybody type of thing. Like, if they had done something completely different and new with that scene, I could have maybe gotten on board with the weird tempo, but
well, I mean, I could
tried to force in.
I could understand maybe if they were trying to slow it up because he's now with Jasmine's there too, and that would have made more sense. He's like kind of breaking up the song because Jasmine's there, like helping her. But they didn't portray Jasmine that way, where she's not really a damsel in distress in this movie. She's more like, I'm doing my own thing. I don't need you. So yeah, the one jump song didn't. It didn't work for me. The one jump song didn't work.
It was not a good way to open the film, in terms of like
because that song, because like an animated movie, that song has a lot of energy, and once the song's over, you're like, oh, that's who Aladdin is.
Yeah,
okay, I get it. I see, and then plus you also get a nice good view of Agrabah, which One Jump did okay job doing.
Yeah.
But obviously not as good as the animated movie did.
Right, and the thing is, like, I was okay with Arabian Nights, because they changed it so much that I was like, okay.
I was fine with Arabian
I was
Nights
like, all right, yeah, I get it if it's the pacing and we're kind of seeing everything and they're introducing us. So I was like, okay, that's different. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one jump thing didn't.
Yeah, one jump.
The one
didn't work.
Just also in terms of the beginning of the film, I kind of didn't like that I feel like we didn't actually spend a lot of time with Jasmine in the way that we did in the original, which I feel was important to see her character outside of the context of Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
Which we didn't really see. Like,
No.
they meet, like, we don't know who she is until they meet.
Yeah.
Like, we don't hear her talk or see her in the palace or complaining to her dad or anything prior to that moment. I guess the character motivation's still there, but I do wish that we would have seen her without Aladdin first, and then see Aladdin, and then we see them meet.
Yeah, because basically after we meet her, she's just explaining to us, like,
exactly.
Hey, this is who I am. This is my problem.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the problems that I felt I had to.
Like, you don't get to get up. The princess doesn't get up much. No, she does. Like, we could have shown us, and in the anime they show us that, like, she can't.
Yeah.
Like, so that I agree with you. That's another good thing, and it would have been nice to see. Yeah, I agree with you. It would be nice to see her before, like.
And what's even more important about that is because they actually changed her motivations in this film.
Yes, they did.
So I feel like it's even more important to spend some time alone with her and see what she's going through first before we see Aladdin, and see why she sneaks out and how she sneaks out. And like, I really like that opening scene, the scene that we see her in the original Aladdin, because you actually really feel like, yeah, I'm running away and I'm not coming back. And like, it's nice to be there for that moment
here,
with
Roger.
her. Yeah, it's nice to be there. And she had no intention of coming back. But in this one, it kind of felt like she always was gonna.
It was like she went like, I'm going on a stroll.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she never had the intention to just run away, like, and escape her life. She just kind of went for a little walk.
And they're like, oh, you kids want some bread?
Which was not as powerful.
No, but yeah, I wish they would have. It would have been okay in the animated movie for it to be like this, but I wish in the live action, it would have taken place like you're saying, because I'm almost. I'm bold to say, like, they should have started out with Jasmine.
Yeah.
Like her being in the throne room, like her being pampered and all this stuff, and her like looking outside, longing to know more about that, and then cutting to Aladdin, and then doing the one jump, and then her escaping, and then them kind of meeting afterwards. So I wish it would have played out like that, but
and they really didn't hit the whole "you have to marry a prince" thing. Like, they were too focused on, can a woman be president? Basically, like, they were a little too focused on that, and it just felt. It felt a little convoluted because they added this new aspect of her character. Yeah. It felt like they didn't really know what they were doing.
I'm fine with them adding it.
Yeah, but then it kind of cheapens, like, all the other stuff that they were trying to cram in as well, like, her original motivations, which was just like, I don't want to be forced to marry someone. Yeah. Which is a fine motive, I think that's fine.
Because they kind of took that away.
Yeah. And made it more like, you need a man so that he can be sultan. It's kind of like,
because, I mean, that would have played perfectly with her motivation now. Like, hey, I could be a ruler, and why do I have to be forced to marry some guy
Yeah.
I don't know or don't love?
Yeah, I mean, they
like,
threw it in there willy-nilly, but it really wasn't so much of a part of...
Yeah.
Which is funny, because that's Aladdin's whole motivation is, like, I need to be a prince.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It just didn't... I don't know. It didn't come together for me the way I would have liked.
That's fair.
Personally. I don't know what else.
So let's talk about Jafar.
Oh my god.
So.
Oh no.
Watching the trailers, our concern was he's not threatening enough, and we watched the movie.
Oh
not
my
really
god.
threatening enough.
It was like worse than I thought it was gonna be. Like, he was such a dud. Like an absolute dud.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why they cast this person to play this role. He didn't even look menacing. He had like a little baby face.
He didn't sound
like,
menacing.
No, he kind of just reminds me of like some like bro at the hookah bar, like, or like the guys that hang out at the gym because that's where they go for fun, like that kind of villain. Like not like a, oh my gosh, he might actually take over the world kind of villain.
No, but he seemed like the first head henchman guy.
Yeah.
More so than Jafar. Like, he would be like, he seems like the guy Jafar would tell, hey, go get Aladdin.
Yeah.
But not Jafar himself. Like, he didn't work from the get-go. Like, from the moment the movie started and we saw him for the first time, it's like,
such a
dud. I don't.
No.
Like, even if you put the animated Jafar aside, he just doesn't, he's not threatening enough.
No, like, you don't have to do exactly what Jonathan Freeman did.
No.
I mean, you can't, because he's perfect. And Jafar, like, the original Jafar, I mean, that is some of the best voice acting...
Yeah, it's great.
...of all time. And just the way he looks, too.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I agree. If you forget that, still, why come up with this person?
Yeah,
he's
very... he doesn't sound threatening. He sound very monotone. It's just very, like...
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, that's just... Yeah. That was probably the most disappointing part of the movie to me.
But...
I can get on board with whatever other weird things are happening, but they did that wrong, and I will never forgive.
Well, I mean, I don't think... he just miscast. I just think he didn't have the gravitas to pull that off.
No.
But watching the trailers, I was kind of set up for, like, to think, like, all right, he's not going to be that threatening, so I already know that going in, and it didn't surprise me, so it wasn't like a big letdown, just like, yeah, he's kind of a blah, and we got to deal with it.
Yeah, and, even when, so I could have maybe been on board with it if he was kind of like a slow burn for the whole film up until the end.
Yeah.
But even at the end, when he's supposed to be, he's got all this power, and he's got the genie, and he is a genie, and he just kind of...
I still didn't buy it.
No, I was just like, the energy was still so low, and he should be, like, what I liked about the original Jonathan Freeman's performance is, like, you start to see, like, that he's insane. Like, when he gets all this power, like, the high-pitched voice, and he starts screaming, and just like...
he changes his performance.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just, everything's happening so quickly, and I feel that the pacing of the whole film was off, but definitely in terms of, that end where everything looks like it's lost, and, our heroes are in big trouble, and it didn't feel that way. It just felt like...
And plus, the movie undercut his power, too. Like, when he's assaulted and he tells the guy, like, all right, go kill them, and then he doesn't do it.
Yeah, and then Hakeem's like, nah, I'm gonna...
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. Like, what?
Yeah.
And then what do you just... Like, there's no consequences to that? It's like, what kind of villain are you? Where, like, you're supposed to, like, instill fear. Like, oh my god, like, if I don't do it, he's gonna kill me. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So it's like, even the movie undercut him. So it's like...
Yeah, and even, I mean, that moment really was only just to prove to Jasmine's dad that she can be a diplomat, or a leader, I guess. I mean, like, that was the one moment where he's like, oh, my daughter actually can talk to people, and...
I guess, but But if that was let's just go with that. If that was the person, then you undercut the villain.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's not as threatening now.
Exactly.
So it's just like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, they put that in there for that reason, and it just kind of was like, oh, wait, what about Jafar, though? Like, isn't he supposed to be, like, all big bad?
I mean, but I guess to the movie's credit, then that would... It nudges him even further to want to make that third wish to be a genie. Because he's like, hey, you're insulted. You really got no power now anyway. So...
I mean, but that's how it works in the original. It's just the way, the fury that he feels. Like, wait, I'm still not powerful enough. Ah, I wish to be an all-powerful sorcerer. You know, it's just sort of like, oh boy, we're in trouble now. But I never felt that we were in trouble watching this one.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know how many times we can just beat this horse into the ground. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about it. That was probably the most disappointing part of the movie for me. Because what a fun character to get to play. Like, I could have probably done a better job, and I would have loved that.
And you know what? It wouldn't have bothered me if he the actor just went all out, like just went it's like crazy with it, just
do
like
something,
just like laughing crazy, like just like go way over the top, because that character is, you could justify him doing that and being that. But have the suaveness of it. Well, but then he's so sinister. Like, there was
because he's a manipulator. I mean, Jafar is basically
he doesn't seem like a manipulator. Yeah.
You know, I know. Like the original one, you know, he's like, you can definitely tell that he's manipulating and he's whatever. And this one just.
But more so, but not even with just the staff. Just his personality.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Where it just feels like now he's just like, just look at the staff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like staff did work.
Yeah.
So he never worked. But that's fine. So let's get to the elephant in the room, which is well, it turns into elephant. The
I was
genie.
Pretty proud of that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's
go to Genie.
Let's talk about that because we have conflicting feelings about this. I want to talk them out a little bit. So, you tell me your thoughts on the Genie and Will Smith.
So I think Will Smith's approach was the correct one, which is the fact that you're not going to be Robin Williams. I like the little nod they gave to him with the little scroll, which was nice. Don't play it that way, because if you watch the original, Robin Williams is doing a lot of impersonations of people that, if you're a kid, you have no idea who he's talking about, which is kind of weird because you're focusing it to kids. But he's playing to obviously the adults in the room too. So he's doing a lot of impersonations and voices and things like that. Will didn't really do that. He kind of gave the Genie a little bit of a hip-hop feel to it, which I enjoy, which plays to his strengths. I get that. When he's singing the songs, he added a little bit hip-hop feel to it, which is playing to his strengths, which I like that. He changed it a little bit, which I like that. To me, he's the best part of the movie. The movie is very blah until he gets there, and then he livens it up, because I think, to your point, there's a little bit of a lack of energy in how they're playing it until he gets there. And then once he comes on screen, he does liven it up. Maybe not to as much as you may want, but I think he livens it up a lot more than what the movie was doing beforehand. And every time he's not on screen, I'm like, all right, bring the Genie back because the energy needs to be brought back up. So I liked the Genie. I like Will Smith.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, on your point in terms of Robin Williams, though, I disagree because there were parts in the film where it was a very clear attempt at Robin Williams' Genie. And that may or may not be Will Smith's fault because they might have just written that in that way. But definitely when we are introduced to him, it felt very Robin Williams-ish. It felt very quick and like trying to be witty and shape-shifting into a lot of different things. And I understand that the Genie is a shapeshifter, but once they slowed that down, I felt better about it. When they were trying to do that,
in the cave, I might give you that a little bit.
In the cave, and then when they got out and they're like sitting in the desert talking about stuff, there was a little bit of that in there, and he's like got the telescope with his eye. Yeah, stuff like that was very Robin Williams Genie, and like I said, that might not have been his fault, but that did not work at all for me. I like felt awkward watching it. I was like, oh, I do not like this. Is not funny. This is not clever. This is not cute. This is an attempt of Will Smith trying to be like Robin Williams. So that did not work. I will say that when he was just being himself, that worked way better.
Like playing as a human, you mean?
Yeah. The human part was better because then they didn't give him the opportunity too much to. Well, first of all, the CGI still looked bizarre to me, and I hated it.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all.
I didn't like it. It just looked like kind of slippery and like not real, and like it clearly just wasn't. I thought they did not do a good job with that.
I liked it, and I liked the smoke tail. the CGI on him didn't bother me at all.
Oh, it looked like the trailer. It did not look good.
No, it looked better than the trailer. It looked better than
So I wish, so once he was human Will Smith and just kind of doing things at his own pace, in his own voice, the hip-hop voice, that worked for me. In terms of the singing, though, that was terrible. Absolutely terrible. None of those songs are well suited for Will Smith. They should have either cast someone else, taken the songs out, or...
Well, you can't take the songs out. You can't...
Honestly, the songs were the worst part of the movie, to me.
I disagree. I don't think so.
Will Smith, he can't sing. And when he tries, it sounds like shit. Like, he sounds god-awful.
I disagree.
You think Will Smith is a great singer?
No, I mean...
exactly.
He's a good performer, and I think...
You can't... No.
But I don't think... I'll put you this way. In my opinion, those songs aren't suited for him. So they did try to sprinkle a little bit of his flavor in it.
They didn't, though.
I think they did.
It was the same song, but with Will Smith trying to rap the lyrics.
He was rapping some parts, singing other parts.
And it sounded terrible. If you're gonna use Will Smith, have him write like an original song. I don't know.
Well, I wish they would have done that.
I think
he should have got his own song.
It wasn't good.
But I felt that the change was suited. They tried to cram it into a Will Smith feel, and maybe it didn't land as much for you. It was okay for me. It didn't bother me. It really didn't bother me.
It drove me nuts. Like
Friend Like Me was I like the little hip hop feel that they gave to it.
Like what if he was the one who was rapping like A Whole New World or whatever? Like that, it just doesn't work. Like those are songs that are meant to be sung.
I know, but you're not if you got Will Smith, you got to play to his strength, and I think they tried to do that. But they didn't go all the way. You know what I mean?
Like that, and I think that's the problem with the casting. They cast Will Smith just because he's a big name actor and he wanted to do it. Like they didn't actually.
Well, he either wanted to do this or Dumbo, and he chose Aladdin.
Well, fine. So, like, my point is, they didn't actually cast based on how is this going to work for these songs, which they probably should have thought about a little bit more. And once again, maybe it's not his fault entirely because they are trying to cram his voice into something that he doesn't have that range. Like he actually can't sing. he can rap, but he cannot sing. Well, so like why would they make all the songs like rap songs then? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Because you can't. There's no way. I don't care what songs they would have been. You can't take the songs out of the movie.
Then they should have had someone to sing for Will Smith, or they should have cast someone else. Because that's the thing. They were trying something new. I don't have a problem with like a different type of genie, which Will Smith provided. But if they're going to do that, then they should have changed the rest of the movie to fit that vibe. And they tried to cram someone who couldn't quite do it into what they thought, all the original songs and stuff like that people wanted. But we don't want them to be crappy.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like when I was watching, like the crowd, the audience I was watching it with loved because they applauded after every song.
Oh, I did not have that experience.
Well, so I think. To me, I think they were playing. This is again what we talked about. Disney playing it safe, where it's like we don't want to stray too far from the original, but we want to do a little bit. I mean, they cared to Will a little bit, but I don't think enough. They should just went more the hip hop route and then just let him do his own thing.
Yeah.
Which I wish he should have got his own song.
It would have worked better.
And like one of the reasons, like if you get Will, he doesn't have his own song. Like one of the reasons.
Well, in the credits. I guess.
Well, which the Friend Like Me in the credits is amazing. Put that in the movie, I would have loved that because then you're saying, hey, we're all in. You know what?
Well,
whether it worked or not is one thing, but then you're committing to like, hey, we're putting our own stamp on Aladdin. We're changing it up. And I would have been fine with it.
I think we're even though we have a different opinion, we're just kind of saying the same thing. Where it's like if you try to do a little bit for everyone, you end up with nothing for anyone. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel that nothing really worked. It felt like a hodgepodge.
Which is fine. I mean, I'm not gonna be singing the new version of the songs. I like the older versions better.
Yeah, Prince Ali. Hey, 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 hey.
But I do like the set piece of Prince Ali though.
Yeah, no.
Like that whole thing looked great, and him just saying, "I'm waiting."
The song,
I'm waiting.
the song also sounded great until Will Smith started like sing rapping. Like, but yeah, everything else about it was fun. Yeah,
that could be a thing. Just sing rapping.
I don't know.
I mean, but I just like, but I do like his like
flavor.
his flavor of it. Like it wasn't Robin Williams to me. Like I can see him tipping his hat to it, but he did his own thing for a lot of it, and I appreciate his effort for it. So I liked his performance, but I may be leaning more to you in the sense that the songs didn't work as well as, obviously they're not going to work as well as the originals, but they just should have went more to play to his talents. I think.
Yeah.
Even if it's just changing a verse or something about the song.
I do think the tempo was a big problem too, because like it felt like he was rapping slow. You know, like speed up the song then. Like give it to us. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna have Will Smith rapping a song to me, then speed it up. Like, you know, getting jiggy with it BPM. You know, like faster. But it felt like he couldn't because the song was slow. So
let's also talk about something else. Like, so the genie gets a love story.
Yeah.
In this, and I'm like, the only reason this is in here because Will Smith is in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other reason for that handmaiden to be in this movie besides Will having to have a love interest, which I'm pretty sure he's like, I'm signing on. I need a love interest.
So here's the thing: if they're gonna do that, then then what it should have been is it should have really hit him that hard that he'll never get his last wish and he'll never be human and he'll never be able to have a family and be in love. Like, that's the angle that they should have played it, and it would have made it so much more powerful when when Aladdin doesn't give him the last wish, you know, which is a really devastating, should be a really devastating moment for Genie, but Will Smith didn't play that great because it just didn't.
Well, it wasn't set up that way. Yeah, I agree.
So, like, if they were going to have this human element, this human connection element, it should have been like, oh, I fell in love with this person. I thought you were gonna set me free so I could, you know, live a normal life and be with her. But they didn't play it that way. It was such a missed opportunity, and it just felt forced.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like a not as good version of Hitch. Another Will Smith movie where it's basically, if you haven't seen that movie, it's just him playing a character who's like a love, like a matchmaker type, and he's setting up a guy with a girl of his dreams, and then he kind of meets a girl of his dreams, and he's trying to stumble.
But he's awkward.
He's awkward with her, and he's trying to teach this guy to be not awkward with her, and it kind of felt that way with here. Now, so Genie's teaching Aladdin, hey, just be yourself, and blah blah blah, and now he's with this handmaiden, like, oh, I gotta be myself, but then I'm stumbling and bumbling, which I would actually love to see more of that. I'm surprised we didn't get more of that. And that's where I thought, like, oh, he's gonna sing his own song with her, and that didn't happen either. But whatever. But it felt like Hitch. Even the dance at the end of the credits was like, that's from Hitch.
Yeah, it just seemed like they lost sight of a lot of the character arcs, and like they were there, but they didn't hit as strongly because they were either adding new stuff or taking stuff away, or the actors just weren't that strong. I don't know. I mean, I think that across the board.
Well, I don't know if Guy Ritchie's. I don't know if he was the right fit for this.
I don't think he's not a good character director. Like, he's not a good actor's director. Like, he can do cool weird stuff with the camera and fantasy worlds or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Like, I don't know.
I was always once he was announced, like, Guy Ritchie, really?
Yeah, it's a very strange choice.
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe it would have turned out different if you got somebody else, but
yeah.
Well, let's talk about the new song. So Jasmine gets her own song.
Right. Which I could care less about.
It was okay.
I mean, I guess, I was trying to look at it through the lens of little girls are watching this. So okay, that's cool. So it's an empowering...
You're gonna shut me up.
But it also...
I get to talk.
It also, once again, felt forced. Because that's not a part of her character that was, in the original. It was more... She had that part in her, but wasn't throwing it in my face in the the original one. And this felt very
the set piece of part 2 was weird, where she's just walking,
dusting everyone.
Yeah, I was
like Thanos.
I was like, wait, I was like, what's going on? I was like, why are they doing it this way?
She's just erasing all the men in her life.
Okay, it was just weird, and then just to cut back, it was like, oh yeah, father, yes. I was like,
that didn't work.
That was just a weird choice on how to play that, but whatever. But the song was okay.
Whatever is kind of how I feel about it.
The song was just okay.
Yeah, no, here's what annoys me about it is it felt like, oh, we should probably put that in here because of, what's going on culturally in America and Hollywood.
She's dressed differently.
Yes.
Which is, fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it felt forced. It was like, oh, we should probably put this like female empowerment song
in,
right?
Part 1 felt more natural. Part 2 just like, hey, remember, she's not taking crap from no man.
Yeah.
So
it's like, the man.
Yeah.
You won't keep me silent.
Yeah.
I will speak. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't. I was like, maybe now's not. No, I don't know.
Or just set it up differently. Just the second part just felt like, remember, she's not taking no crap.
I was just
man.
I was so confused. I was like, Thanos.
And it was just like, why are they dusting away? What's happening?
Yeah. So that was like okay. I didn't really care much about Jasmine in this one. I didn't find her to be terribly likable. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the actress. Maybe it was the lines she was given, the way it was written. I probably have to see it again and think about it a little bit more. Figure out why.
I just keep saying this a lot. She was just okay. She didn't bother me. But I just wish they would have. We got more time with her to set her up.
Maybe that's what it was that I just felt like.
But other than that, Raja was okay, and Iago. That was a missed opportunity, I think.
It was. I liked it because I was afraid that he wasn't going to talk at all.
But then we just get parrot talk all.
Parrot talk's fine. But like some of the, I liked the fact because it's supposed to be grounded in.
But I thought what I thought was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna do parrot talk when other people were around. When it was just him and Jafar, I thought he was just gonna start talking. Well, that's
like the original.
Yeah, talking, and I thought that's what they were gonna do. But I didn't.
Well, that's better because I didn't want a talking animal in this one. I did not want. That's why Lion King bothers me. I'm like, I don't want to see those animals talk. I don't want to see a photorealistic animal talking to me.
Well, we're gonna get that, but
that's why it made total sense that it sounded like a parrot. But I do think that they could have. Some of the jokes were like, oh, that was the line you chose to go. Like you gave Iago a line, and that was the line. Like not funny or clever. So why?
But this was like the parrot talk. Just like afterwards, all right, just shut up.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. Like if you're going to do that, which I think is fine, like have it, mean something, or like have him.
Like they were trying puns and all, and just like meh.
Yeah, exactly.
So just shut up or just talk.
Yeah, the only thing that
I did like that they changed. That they actually made him into a big bird.
Well, when Jafar warged into him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's clearly a Stark. Yeah, I definitely had some King's Landing flashbacks, if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
A little bit, clearly.
But here's what I don't like about that, is it replaced the giant snake that I was so excited to get, which I love so much about Jafar toying with everyone with all the new magic that he has, and Princess Jasmine goes into this hourglass, and there's a ticking. So what I missed from that is there's this ticking time bomb. Like, oh, Jasmine's in trouble, and literally time is running out for her, and so everything has to. There's this intensity. Like, oh, we have to do this now. I have to save her now. I have to defeat Jafar now so that she doesn't die.
Yeah.
And the final battle just completely was missing that. And Jafar laughing and using his new powers and really in control, really on the top of his game, and that just did not happen at all in this one. And they denied me my giant snake. Yeah. So disappointing. That would have been such a cool set piece.
It would have been, and the giant bird didn't. It's not as good as a giant snake.
No. It was fun to do something different,
because you kind of got to chase them throughout the
yeah,
scene,
but like if you're gonna replace that with something that was really cool and that would have been rendered, that would have been awesome to see. I mean, this giant snake.
Because you can still have the snake chase them. I mean, it wouldn't be as, it would play out a little bit differently, but you can still have the snake chase them, which, you know, it is what it is. What else? I mean, the Sultan was whatever.
Yeah,
fine. His performance was...
Well, they didn't give... I mean, there wasn't much for him to do, really.
No. So. Just, like, be manipulated and say, huh? What?
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. So, I mean, we talked about, like, the genie falling in love and, like, the ending and stuff like that. Yeah. And, like I said, that would have worked if that was something that was really important to him. Like, if they established that early on.
Yeah, it's like, you know, hey, Genie, what do you want? It's like, oh, well,
I've always wanted a family. I've always wanted a family, but I can't because, that would have maybe worked a little bit better. But I just kind of felt like, okay. Yeah. But, so also, so he just doesn't have any powers anymore?
Yeah, that's a change from the original. So in the original, you know, Aladdin gives him the wish. He's not tied to the lamp anymore. He still has powers, just not as powerful. Yeah. In this, he just goes straight up human. Mm-hmm. And then obviously gets married and has
in my mind, I'm like, oh, so do his kids have like magical genie powers? Like
apparently not,
or what? Or I don't know.
No, go ahead.
One thing that I'm interested in, just in terms of like what they're doing with remaking all of these films, I wonder what their thoughts are on sequels.
That's a very good point.
And are they thinking like, okay, we're going to make an Aladdin 2, so are they already thinking about that? Like, is that something that they're...
Well, it's funny because the movie sets it up and doesn't set up at the same time, because just like in the original, Jafar wishes to be a genie, and then he gets sucked into the lamp and he throws him into the Cave of Wonders, just like in the original. But unlike in the original, they don't get married at the end, and the genie isn't a human.
And he goes on vacation.
Yeah, Genie just goes off on vacation, and he comes back.
And he sings a song about it in the second one.
And then they get a new villain to get Jafar out, and then we have the Return of Jafar. So they could
Which is terrible. If they do a sequel, I hope it's Prince of Thieves, which is an amazing movie.
Yes, and I love the songs in Prince of Thieves more than Return of Jafar. Mm. But the fact that Genie doesn't have any powers now, and it'll be going up against a genie in Jafar, what are they gonna do?
That's why I'm wondering what is their plan with.
I don't.
Or are they like one and done, or you know what I mean?
Well, with Maleficent, it wasn't one and done. So.
No, but that's a different situation because they really took a lot of liberties with the first one, so they didn't have to necessarily stick to the rules of, you know, the original 1964 Sleeping Beauty or whatever it was. So that's kind of a different thing. But I guess now there's so many to remake for the first time that maybe they're not thinking about sequels at all.
Maybe. Well, they don't have to for a while.
Yeah. I don't know. This is something that crossed my mind, so I wonder
curious to see
where they stand.
How The Lion King plays out, too, in that sense, if it sets itself up for a sequel. Mm-hmm. Because, the Jungle Book does, and I don't know if they're going to do another Jungle Book. I don't know. It's the same thing. Yeah. They could easily do it, or they could easily just not... Like, by the time we get through all the originals, they might be on to another thing. So...
Yeah. Interesting.
Final thoughts on Aladdin and a score.
A score out of how many lamps?
Lamps, yeah.
Lamps.
And the weird thing is that they changed it where he had to be rubbing the lamp to make the wish.
One of the things is like I feel like they changed things that didn't need to be changed that raised more questions. That gave me more answers. That was one of them. The whole you have to be rubbing it.
Well, before we get started, because I like the fact that in the first one he tricked the genie into getting him out of the cave. Yeah. In this one he just kind of boo.
Yeah. He also tricks Jafar in a way that made more sense in the original than it did in this one. It was kind of convoluted. They don't say that a genie's the most powerful being. You just kind of... why did they have to change that? It actually raised more questions for me.
They did it... in the sense, in the movie, they said, he's like, if you're not the most powerful in the room, you're nobody. So he used that line against them. So
I know, but it still was a little more convoluted than... Because I like the idea of Jafar being so gone and so power hungry that he himself is like, I want to be a genie, which he never actually says in this one. He just says, oh, I want to be the most powerful being. And they translate that as being a genie. I much preferred it that Jafar sort of seals his own fate by saying, "I wish to be an all-powerful genie."
Yeah, because if you look at it the way the movie plays out, the genie, Will Genie, pretty much chooses him to be a genie because he's like, "Oh, there's a lot of wiggle room in what you're saying, so I'm gonna make you a genie because I know exactly what Aladdin's doing, and I'm just going to pick up on that and make you a genie so you can get trapped."
And dramatically, it works better in the original because Genie doesn't know what he's like, way to go. And
idiot.
Yeah, and so there's that moment where he doesn't get it until it happens. And then everyone's like, you're a genius! I much preferred... I just feel like it was more dramatic, the way that it played out in the original than this one.
Well, because the way it played out, because the genie's like, are you moron?
Yeah.
Why would you tell him to be like? Why would you trick him into wishing he's a genie?
Yeah.
In this one, it's like, well, a little bit of the drama's taken because we know obviously how it plays out, but just the way because I keep saying Will. The genie's like, oh, I see what you're doing here. Okay.
And
he's
also,
in on it too.
Here's the other thing: if Genie can kind of pick and choose what the wish means, or also he used his powers to send Carpet. So is he really bound by rules? Or can he actually just kind of do whatever he wants?
He's bound by the script. Okay, the script tells him what he can do, what he can't do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's what he's bound by.
So yeah, I'm glad we addressed that because there were some small things where I was like, why did you change that? It worked perfectly fine the way it was written.
The script told him to.
Why did they change the script though? Is the point? I don't see
That's
why.
True.
Why would they change the script when
know.
it worked? Because it's basically the same movie. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, all right. So final thoughts, score.
I did not. I guess I enjoyed watching it because I've just been wondering what it was going to be like for so long. But I can't say it's a good movie. I'd be interested to watch it again. It was very colorful. But yeah, some of this. All the stuff that I love so much about the original isn't in this one at all. So there's really nothing for me in this new iteration, personally speaking. So I gotta give it a 4 out of 10 lamps.
4 lamps. All right. So if I think about it as the same we're in Beauty and the Beast, we're watching the remake. A lot of the magic was gone. Excuse me, I just feel the same way about this. If this movie standing by itself is just an okay movie, but then when you compare it to what you're comparing it to, it doesn't hold up at all. And I just think there are attempts with the genie and with Jasmine and everything, and Aladdin looking like he's not just a regular guy. He's not a street rat. I don't know, and Guy Ritchie, I just wish they would have got another director, but anyways, but with all that on top of it, it didn't hit me, and Beauty and the Beast didn't hit me, and this didn't hit me. It's I keep saying it was just okay. I wasn't annoyed at the movie, I wasn't yeah, I was just sitting there all right, it's all right, that's happened, yeah, already, okay. Yeah, okay. It was just okay. So for me, I'm gonna give it a 6. I mean,
wow.
It was just okay. I probably would want to watch it again. But I'm not dying to see it again. If I never saw it again, I'd be okay. But I will see it again. I'm not gonna lie. But the magic isn't there, and I'm wondering what the secret sauce is that they're going to have to figure out if they're going to keep doing these live action ones. What is the balance of sticking close to the original and doing something new that is going to not only please the original fans, because you want to please them, but then marking your own territory and doing something they haven't found the balance yet.
As an original fan, I would be more pleased if they just kind of went their own direction.
But you I hear you, but I don't know if we're in the minority and the majority. I think we're in the minority in that camp.
I don't know if it matters though, as long as it makes money. Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? I think they.
Yeah, I mean, but it's gonna make money anyway. Use Aladdin, money.
I know.
So
that's
I mean,
my point.
but what is this? There's a balance there yet, and I don't think they found it. But they're gonna have to find it because like Mulan's coming out, like this.
They don't have to. People are still gonna go see it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, the idea. I mean, yes, the idea is to make money. Obviously, Disney's a corporation, but don't you want it to be good? Like, look how long Aladdin came out in 1992, and it's still beloved now. We're 2019. I don't know if by 2030 we're still gonna be talking about the 2019 Aladdin. I'm pretty sure we're still talking about the 1992 Aladdin, more so. And I'm like, shouldn't that be part of your thought process too? But like, yeah, we want to make money, and I think if you make an Aladdin movie, you're gonna make money anyway. It did great opening weekend, so let's put our own stamp on it and make it good.
I just need Mulan to be better. I just need that to be better than Aladdin.
We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. All right, so there's our thoughts on Aladdin.
Thanks for
enduring. What are your thoughts on Aladdin? If you want to compare it to the original, if you just want to look at it as its own standalone movie, what are your thoughts either way? Because I can understand if you if you compare it to the original, it's like this. If you think about it as a standalone movie, you look at it this way. So, what are your thoughts? Let's start the conversation below. Also, like, subscribe, do all those great things. Make sure to hit that notification bell when we post our other videos that we do on the channel. But until then, I am Sean.
I'm Alex.
And you never had friends like us.
Aw, that's true.